An AFC Championship rematch. It's the coach. This is week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Jags looking to make amends for their 24-20 loss last January, as they're at home this time to take on 41-year-old Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. I'll have a look around the NFL at halftime. But first, we head up to Jacksonville. Standing by, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
They go play action here on first down. He'll check this one out to Fournette, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all. Announcers like to call him because it's a whole lot easier. Second tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. Had 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Now Bortles. He's going to sling this deep down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many runs in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll run it here. This is James White. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. White's numbers from a week ago. 15 carries, 130 yards.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get the play action and throw the ball deep later on. How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Barry Church, the strong safety, the one to get him down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Quick slant there, gets him the first down, 6 yards on the play.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
No gain on the play there, second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Over the middle, Julian Edelman, it's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man covers, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Brady. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field. All right, this is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability...
And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Sony Michel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Pats have taken the early lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, you know, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you...
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Brady. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in. but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They do go for it. It's Brady. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Malik Jackson forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right?
Yeldon fighting. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Left side, it's Dorsett. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A quick slant, good for 8 and a first. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
Here's White, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Getting the sense Charles are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now he'll throw with Brady. Throwing left side, he's got Gronk, complete. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He hits White, complete. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Dante Fowler in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, that's the 2nd time they've gotten to Brady, and you've got to do it a variety of ways. You want your regular pressure. Sometimes you have to bring extra. But in this case, they got to him, and that just doesn't happen very often.
It's a rarity. He's just such a And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the 1st down, and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll get it up the middle, and I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. New England on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Brady eluding the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. So now 4th down looming. Remember, these guys went for it on their last drive, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, even though it didn't work out, I would not be surprised at all if they went ahead and did it again.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Darn right.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It's not like you're going negative on me,
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. T.J. Yeldon working his way back out onto the field. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here losing in the 2nd quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Green 80.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Open man is Westbrook, complete. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now Bortles. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dante Hightower coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
The drive starts with a run by White. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same thing.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Malik Jackson in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. Bortles to Cole for the Jacksonville first.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2 having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They go with a screen. It's Yeldon. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. Now Bortles again. That one complete to Yeldon. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. And Lambo will put this one through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful at getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, it's Brady. Quickly to Gronkowski, that's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They go play action for White. Now it's Brady. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, they'll throw with Brady. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Here's Ryan Allen now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. So at halftime, it's the Patriots with the advantage. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Now Brady throwing on second down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And got his man complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there for New England. 56 yards.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there?
Yeah.
Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Philip Dorsett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kyle Van Noy coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here's Bortles to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cole. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Defense.
So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Bortles now on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Bortles. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's where he goes.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Paul bringing it in. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Adrian Claiborne able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. The Patriot fans certainly happy to see Claiborne wearing their jersey this season.
Obviously a good pickup by the AFC champs, and you have to go back to when Claiborne came into the league. A first-round pick with Tampa Bay. But just remember last season, 6 sacks in 1 game against Dallas. You'll remember Adrian Claiborne's name from that point on.
Who was blocking in that game?
No one.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Brady now to throw. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game, that punter, he must be pretty lonely over there on the sideline thinking, why in the world was my number not called there?
As far as he's concerned, the check was still cash, right? It is your choice not to use me in this situation. But I also look at it this way. You know, some coaches are more aggressive than others. They just want to take care of the football, have the ball on offense, and go at it that way. So a very interesting call, but he wants to take care of the ball himself.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. Looking back to Leonard Fournette's rookie campaign, over 1,000 yards rushing. And coming into the league, some people saw this kid as an ex-Adrian Peterson. What can we expect from him going forward?
I like the comparison because of the size, the strength, the speed. But I think he catches the ball better than Adrian Peterson. So I think they can up his utilization in the passing game. But what really impressed me was down the stretch in the divisional playoff game against Pittsburgh, hurt his ankle, left the game for a while, and came back and helped power his team to a big victory. Remember, he had some dings at LSU that kept him out of a few games. I thought that was a breakthrough for Leonard Fournette.
So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Brady and the Patriots now 1st and 10 at their own 18. They begin the drive on the ground. It's White. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Throwing now is Brady. Open man left side is Gronkowski. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Calais Campbell in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. That's a 6'8", 300-pound man out of the U, Mr. Campbell.
Yes, and he came from Arizona to Jacksonville and didn't just break it.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Malik Jackson getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Brady's throw on 3rd down there is incomplete. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you evolved. You know, you learn how to play it the Madden way.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dante Hightower in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now it's a quarterback. And the pressure gets to him again. Dante Hightower able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play. Back now in Jacksonville. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. They'll start the drive with a give to White. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Barthema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Brady. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Pats do snap it. It's Brady. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now. When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Got confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Telvin Smith that time there to make the play. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Here's Brady to throw. This is White on the screen. And he'll go down at the 28. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Bortles to the former Jets, Safarian Jenkins for the Jags' first down. Bortles now on 1st down. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. Dante Hightower in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. This is Yeldon on the dump off. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Bortles, gotta have this one. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Patriots are close to finishing off this football game. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you called it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance. It just was unsuccessful.
And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And they will take a knee here. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Brady will take a knee here, and that should just about do it.
Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end and secure the victory.
Preseason, coach said their goal, they obviously want to win everything. He said, I think we can get off to a 3-0 start. Well, here they are looking at 2-0 right now.
Wait, 20. Wide, 80.
Hey, watch the slant.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Pats, it was a great all-around performance.